Okay, so hello everybody and welcome. I just wanted to take a few minutes to pop on and say hi and introduce myself because there's a few people in the group who I don't know personally. So my name is Ashley Dietrich. Either myself or one of my coaches on my team, Katerina. One of us is likely your coach. So on behalf of both of us, I just wanted to say welcome, and I'm really, really excited that you guys are ready to just kind of jump in this new journey. Or maybe if you're already on your health and fitness journey, maybe this is just an extension of it. But either way, welcome, and I'm happy you're here. So I just wanted to give a little bit of info and rundown on how I expect the group to go and what I expect out of everyone in return. So basically, this group will be run through the My Challenge Tracker app. Hey, Emily. And this app is, if you haven't been on it yet and peeked around, it basically kind of runs like a private Facebook group would run, in that, you know, everyone is still able to post freely. The difference with this app, though, is that you're able to log your Shakeology every day. So you can log your flavor, you can and log, you know, when you drink it. And then same thing with your workout. You can log the workout you're doing, you can add a photo and things like that. And the benefit of that is it just kind of keeps you accountable, because if it gets to be, you know, like, I don't know,
I don't know if this is live or not.
Huh? No,
Oh.
Ava?
Oh. Hi.
Hi, Emily. How are you?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, sorry. Pat wasn't coming in here talking, and I'm like, because it says my mic is muted. So.
Oh, it was for a second, but it's not anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, if Violet starts screaming, I'll mute it.
Okay. All right. So,
back on track.
The benefit of having the track, like the ability to log things, is just kind of for your own accountability. And aside from that, it gives me an opportunity as your coach to just kind of see who's still committed, who's logging every day. And, you know, there always gets to be a point in the middle of these groups where, you know, a handful of people start to just kind of filter off. And this just kind of helps me rein everybody back in and know when I need to kind of, you know, relight the fire and refocus everybody. So in addition to being able to log your workouts into your Shakeology, you'll also be able to privately log, or publicly just meaning that I would see it, but you can log a before photo, you can log your starting measurements and your starting weight. Sweet. So regardless if you put those like in the app or not, that's up to you, but I do want everyone to take those three things.
It's
okay. So whether you write it down in a notebook and you stick it in a drawer or whatever, you know, there's different apps where you can track these things too. However you want to do it is fine. Just please make sure that you take measurements either tonight or first thing tomorrow.
She's talking shit.
Yeah, I'm Adeline's mom. And just make sure that you're logging those. And I'm never going to ask you to share those.
No. Shh.
I'm never going to ask you to share those publicly. So that is just for your own benefit. However, what I will ask weekly is for everyone to send me just their measurements. You don't need to send me your weight, because I'm not going to be focusing on the number on the scale. I'm going to be focusing on the measurements and making sure they're going in the direction that you want them. Not everyone in this group is looking to lose weight. Some people are looking just to maintain weight and stay accountable. And some people are looking to kind of, you know, maybe even increase their weight depending on the situation. So that's why a big part of the reason I don't like to track weight. The second part of the reason I don't like to track weight is because it's not uncommon to lose 5 to 7 or even like 3 to 5 inches, you know, total in the first week, and your weight not change or your weight go up a pound. Because in the end, it's going to all even out. And what's also happening is, as your body, you're doing this for weight loss, as your body loses fat, it's also gaining muscle, right? Your muscles are not bulking up, but when you start using them regularly, they are
Sorry.
Help Daddy. Go ask Daddy for help, honey. What do you need? Real quick. What do you need? Your pajamas on top of your dresser. The flamingo ones. Okay, so always is my train of thought when the kids come in. But
That muscle weighs more than fat.
yes. So basically what's going to happen is that as you start to lose fat, your inches are going to probably go down.
I want to say hi to.
But your weight might not necessarily. So I don't want that to be a turn off to people.
Say hi to Adeline.
She went downstairs to put her jammies on, kiddo.
She's in bed. She's in bed.
She
Just like,
is.
yep. She's going to bed. Just go. Go. Go.
Oh my god.
So, it's fine.
Bedtime battles.
Uh-huh. So anyway, that's just kind of the reasoning for that. So we'll track that privately together.
Perfect.
And then let's see, what else? I did kind of spew a lot of information at you yesterday and today. So just make sure you look through those posts. One thing I want you to do now, some people have a physical program like a 21-day fix DVD set or something. And then other people have the digital all access on demand where everything's online. I have a separate video that I will post in the group that will just kind of show you around Beachbody On Demand, where to find the workouts, where to find the program materials for each program, and how to track things for each program. So I will post that later. But regardless of which, if you're doing a DVD set or a digital program, the process is still the same. You'll have a workout calendar from whatever program you're choosing that you'll follow. You'll also have a meal plan that you'll follow. And then,
I can't find them.
okay, then honey, just get some new pajamas.
But there isn't any.
Yes, they're in the dryer. They're all clean. And then the cornerstone of really all of this is going to most likely come down to your nutrition, based on your goals. So, if there's 1 to 2 areas that I would like you to put a little bit stronger focus, it's on the nutrition and the meal plan piece. And that's where we're going to spend a lot of time talking about in this group, because for most people, I mean, of course not everybody, but for most people, that's kind of where the struggle happens, So maybe we can get into routine to pushing play on our workout every day, but, whenever we need to, I don't know, when life comes up, life events, I have a birthday party, I have a graduation party, we have, different things going on. How do you stay on track while still enjoying those events, right? So those are some of the things we're going to talk about, and just kind of how to incorporate it so you're not making yourself a separate meal and your family a meal and just overcomplicating it. So my goal is to make it, more a kind of smooth across the board. So in this group, I would like everyone to post openly, their questions. If you have a private question, of course, you can always message me privately. But if it's something like, does squash go in a green container or does it go in a yellow container? Anything like that, that anyone else has it for, just post that in the group and tag me in it. And then I can hop on and answer, because I'm going to get notifications anytime someone tags me. Okay. Let's see.
Come here, Violet. Come snuggle. Come on.
So what I'm going to do once I post the recording to this video is I would like to know what everyone's done today to prepare and what your plan is for tomorrow. For example, for me, today I went grocery shopping.
No.
I know what I'm having dinner for every night, and I know what my breakfast is going to be every day, and I can kind of figure out my For me, I don't sit down and necessarily plan out every single thing I'm going to eat throughout the week, because I'm at home all day, so I have a little bit more flexibility into that. But if you are somebody who works outside the home and you need to pack lunches for yourself, or snacks because you have a big window between eating lunch at work and then running kids to practice and then until you get home, or you know what I mean, you just got to kind of look at your week and see what am I going to need to eat and when, and plan from there. All right. So what I encourage you to do tonight is look at your week, look at the next 7 days. If you really want to overachieve, look at the next 30 days, but at least start with this coming week. What events do you come up? What practices do you have to run kids to? What, I don't know, concerts or shows or field trips or, anything like that where it's going to come up over a snack or a mealtime for you. And just kind of start to plan accordingly. I will be I already put up a few resources in the group, but I'll be adding things as we go. I can't possibly post everything on day one because it would just be an overload of information and I think it would just be overwhelming. So if you have though a question, just ask and I'll let you know, if it's something I plan on posting or if it's something I need to address. So anyway, yeah. So when you're planning your week out, plan especially your big meals because those are the kind of ones that take the most work, right? Is, what am I going to feed my family in most cases? So just kind of start to looking at that and I'll throw up some meal plans too for each kind of calorie bracket you're in. So most of the Beachbody programs follow that, 21-day fix or portion control eating plan. So that is something that you want to look at and figure out which calorie bracket you're falling into. Now, you don't need to count calories, of course. You'll just be filling the containers and you won't have to guess about calories. But you'll want to know, starting tonight, how many containers you get of each color a day, and then plan your meals around that. So for each calorie bracket that there is, I have a sample meal plan with food and recipes already in it. So I will post those up after I get off this call. Actually, I have a team call at 9, so it might be after that, but it'll be up tonight. That you can either use or draw inspiration from or anything like that. So that'll be really helpful too. If none of those sound good, then there's like a plethora of other resources you can use to build your own meal plan or find a meal plan that's already created that fits your specific, that's customized to your nutritional needs. All right. And then the second thing I want you to do after you kind of figure out your nutrition is schedule your workouts. So I always tell people to schedule your workouts like an important meeting you can't miss with yourself. So just like I tell my team, like you're the boss of your own business. For you guys, you're the boss of your own, nutritional and fitness journey. So in order for it to work, you have to commit to it, right? And you commit to things by staying on somewhat of a schedule. So whether that is, today I work at 10 a.m., tomorrow I work at 3 p.m., it doesn't have to be consistent, but just in the fact that you know what time you're going to be able to get it done every single day. So for me, most of the time I'm going to get mine in after I get my kids off to school. I'm going to get back home, get them settled, and then I'm going to probably push play. However, some people need to get up a half an hour earlier than they normally do and do that for, before they go to work because they just know they're the type of person who's not going to do it when they get home from work. And that's fine. So you just got to kind of look at yourself, know yourself enough to know, okay, if I push this off until the last thing I do today, am I really going to do it? So don't leave your workouts to chance and don't leave your food to chance because what's going to happen is we're trying to break old habits and create new ones, right? So, for example, I know what happens for me if your life is anything like mine. Things come up every single day, either that I've forgotten about or, people stop in or invite us over unexpectedly and things like that. So if I wait until later in my day to do my workout, then it's most likely not going to happen. So as a general rule, for most people, getting it done first thing is how it works. But you got to do what you got to do. So schedule it. And if you have a calendar that you follow, you have a planner that you follow, you have a calendar in your phone, set a reminder and, just know maybe my kids get their 30 minutes of TV time during my workout, or maybe, you gotta make it out to work for you, but schedule like an important meeting you can't miss yourself. Trying to think. Those are the basics, really. Everything else will just kind of be, we'll do as we go. So we're going to look at just kind of cleaning out our pantries over time and just kind of maybe filtering out some items that aren't really necessary, nutritionally, and maybe trying to find new ways to incorporate new foods, different things like that. Do you guys have any questions that you can think of? Yay, Trina's on. Looks like she's driving, but so Trina, just to get you caught up, I just kind of went over how the group runs in the app, how they can log and track everything, how we'll be asking for measurements weekly. So you'll send your measurements to your coach. So I think Trina has like 2 or 3 gals in here. So like every Sunday night or whatever, or first thing Monday morning, retake your measurements and send them to your coach. And then what I'd like to do, and I haven't really talked to Trina too much about this, but I'm sure she'll be on board. What I'd like to do is I typically do a fun prize for participation. And I don't do it for like most weight or any lost or inches lost, because everyone's at a different spot, and it's not really about that. It's about, not necessarily the numbers, but just, making progress on your own goals. So while I certainly like recognize everybody for those types of things, the prize I typically do is for participation. And the reason I do it for participation is because time and time again, and I say that this every single group, the people who are the most engaged in the challenge group have the biggest results. So if you saw my post that I did recently about just wrapping up my challenge group, I think I had like 4 faces on there. And those were, so I recognized 2 people for the most participation. I recognized 2 people for the most participation and 2 people for like, one had the most weight and one had the most inches. But those 4 people were also the 4 people who had the biggest results in that group. And it's always because they are the most engaged, they're the most committed, because they're commenting on every post, they're, doing any daily challenges, they're checking in daily with their workout and their Shakeology. And those are the people who end up, encouraging other people. It's really hard to focus when you're doing that. So anyway, my expectation for this group is that I think there's currently like 13 or so people who have accepted their invitations and who are going in the group. But I think we sent out over 20 invites. So there were 20 people who wanted to be in this group. So ideally, I would expect, 20 people every day. My husband is pestering me. I'm sorry. Can you go out? I can't focus. You're embarrassing me and making me turn red.
Tell him to put his clothes back on. I'm just kidding.
He is. He's changing into his pajamas. Anyway, I literally have no idea what I was saying now. Get out of here. God. Doing lunges in front of me. But yeah, participation. So that's what I expect. Just like you would expect for anything else. You're the most engaged in I want it to be fun though. I don't want it to be, if it's something that you feel like, you have to do, then you got to change your mindset. I know that there's a few people here in this group who I've talked to prior, who are just kind of struggling with some, of their own personal stuff. And I highly suggest for anybody to read some sort of personal development book, kind of or even listen to a podcast along the way as you're starting something new. Because you're gonna fall on hard times, right? You're going to get to that point where, after a few days in, 4 or 5 days in, and you're going to be most likely so sore that you're going to want to say, I need a break. I need to take a day off. And then when you take a day off, then something's going to come up. And the next day you're like, well, today's Sunday, so I just won't do it today. And, and then it's just this snowball effect, and that's how people get off track. The difference is always, always, always when you push through that hard time and you get through to the next level. I mean, that's really kind of where that shift happens. And I think that can be said in a lot of scenarios, but especially for exercise and your nutrition. It's all new and you're doing a lot new. So give yourself some grace and just trust the process and stay the course. I think that's kind of just like my biggest overall message is that, you know, it's probably going to get hard and that's okay. Hard is good. Sore is good because you know that it's working. I remember on my 4th day of the 21-day fix, I got on a plane. I was going to visit my sister in California and I was nursing and I was more sore than I had ever been in my entire life. I could not lower myself down to sit on the toilet. It hurt to sit on the toilet because my muscles were so sore. So I get out to California and she wants to go to Zumba. And I was like, you are mad, woman. I've already had to do my stinking 30-minute workout today. And now you want me to go to Zumba. And I went to Zumba and it was awful, but I felt better the next day. And then the next day she wanted to go surfing on top of my workout. And so then we went surfing. But my point is I continued to move. And what I learned was when you're that sore, what's happening in your body physically is that you have a buildup of lactic acid. And that's what makes your, you know, gives you that muscle soreness. Because your muscles, when you're working them and you're using them in new ways and you're building new muscles, the muscles have to fail. The muscles have to physically break down. The muscle fibers need to break down. And then that repair that kind of happens within the muscles as they repair themselves, that's where the gains happen. That's where the strength builds. That's just kind of how your muscles work. But when you're sore and you have that lactic acid in your muscles and you stop moving, then it just sits there and it doesn't go anywhere and you're sore and you're not getting better and you're not getting stronger. If you continue to push past that and you continue to use your muscles, even if you can't go full out because you're so sore, you're literally contracting those muscles and helping squeeze and flush out that lactic acid, you know, and we're going to be drinking a lot of water every day. And just kind of flush that out. And that's going to get you through those 2 to 3 days where you're going to like kind of hit that maximum soreness. And then after that, you're going to feel a lot better. And that's when you're going to start to see that shift happen. And that's when, you know, by the end of this, new habits have been formed. So just know that I want everyone to know that and be very clear about that going in, because I don't want anyone to think, you know, I'm so sore, this shouldn't be like this. There's a difference between being extremely muscular soreness and being like injured. So just listen to your body. And if you are concerned, you know, talk to Trina or I, and we will, you know, help you through it. But
I think one thing too, just as a quick note before I run into Meyer, it's very normal on days like 3 and 4 to be hungry, to be starving.
yes,
But don't binge. You can get through it. That day, you're probably going to be a little cranky and you're going to want to just say, you know what, I don't care. I'm going to eat whatever, this cheeseburger and whatever else that sounds good. But then that's when you're going to start falling into that habit again. So it's going to be, you're going to have a couple hard days, but I feel like after day 4, it starts getting a lot easier. It really does. It's just, it's normal, and you will get past it. You're not going to feel starving every day after that.
right.
Something to remember too.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point, because think of what your body's doing. A lot of people are going from either 0 or very minimal exercise to now I'm changing the way I eat. I'm also adding in 30 minutes of exercise every day, plus on top of everything I normally do during my day. That's a lot of things for your body to do. So that's why the nutrition is absolutely key, because you want to make sure that you're giving your body what it needs to be able to, you know, get stronger. And like Trina said, you're not going to starve by the amount of food that you're given on this meal plan. It is given to people in different amounts because based on their needs. It's not a one size fits all thing. I don't eat the same amount of food as Trina eats. Trina doesn't eat the same amount that Christina eats, and so on and so forth. It's going to be different for everybody, and that's why this works, is because it's customized to you. So anyway, just know that, and then we will just take it one day at a time. And I'm really excited about it. Our last group was super successful. It was a blast, and it's like nothing else. That first week is always like, you know, and then it's that second week when people are like, I'm feeling so much better. Like, this is so glad I pushed through. You were totally right. And, you know, I've noticed this and I've noticed that, and this is happening. And I noticed that my jeans don't, you know, pinch my sides anymore, or whatever, you know, the situation may be. So, it just really starts to build momentum, and it's really exciting. So if you guys don't have any other questions, then I will probably hop off because it's 8:30. So I think we've reached our 30-minute limit. Does anybody have any questions? There is a little, if you need to muted, you can chat. You have something, Emily?
I don't think so. I'm just taking it all in.
Okay. So is everyone feeling prepared for tomorrow? Everyone has a plan. They know what time they're going to work out. Trina's still planning.
I just have to grocery shop.
Teasing. So tomorrow I'll probably come on at some point and talk about meal prepping, and just kind of some tips on what to do, or maybe even tonight after she gets home from the grocery store. You know, just different things you can do. You know, if you're buying fruit, you can wash all your fruit tonight, or not necessarily tonight, but, you know, at one time, have it cut up in Tupperware or whatever, ready to go in the fridge. You can do the same thing with your vegetables. You can make a big batch of like taco meat.
No.
Or baked chicken or whatever, you know, just kind of think outside the box. What can I do ahead of time? So, you know, on like Thanksgiving where you got to like make all this food ahead of time, you're kind of doing the same thing, right? So what can you do to save time? Anything you can do today is going to save you time tomorrow. I will even do little things as like picking the grapes off of the vines, because that is such a tedious job. Or what I'll do is I'll give it to like Adeline or Jonathan, and I'll say, you guys get to pick all these off, and you can eat as many as you want as you go, but just pick them all off. And you know what I mean? Just kind of, it's fun to get your family involved in that regard, and the kids. It kind of takes a little bit of the pressure off you, and kind of gets everyone else on board and interested too.
I agree. I think my biggest thing is I try to food prep a little bit ahead of time, but my big thing is I know what I'm going to do for the whole week. So even though I might not have my lunch made for Thursday, I already know what my dinners are for this whole week, and I already got my snacks and all that stuff.
Yep, exactly. Cool. So, all right, if there's anything you guys else can think of, just go ahead and post it in the group, and we will get ready to rock and roll. And I'll just kind of put up some expectations too about daily. Obviously, I want everyone to log their Shakeology and log their workout daily. And we'll just kind of be going from there. So
I do have a quick question.
what's up?
Can I do more than one Shakeology a day? So can I do 2 shakes a day instead of just one?
I would say on occasion it's fine, but the purpose of like this whole nutritional meal plan thing is to learn how to manage your food like across a whole day. Shakeology is not really meant to be like a slim fast type of thing where you don't your meal, you get your benefits from a shake. Shakeology is extremely beneficial nutritionally. However, it just kind of goes against the grain to be using it, to replace it. Now, however, if you get in a bind, it's absolutely not going to hurt you. But again, I just wouldn't factor that in to 2 meals a day, like regularly.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh, sorry. She's going to get a little grumpy here.
Okay.
I was mainly asking just because I lack discipline with what's going into my mouth. So I thought, okay, so for the first, come here, come sit on my lap. So I was like, okay, well, maybe for the first week while I'm getting the less that I'm putting into my mouth or the less time that I have in the kitchen, I just felt like, I don't know, I've never tried it that way or done anything like that, but I figure because I know that I'm always in the kitchen. I have 5 kids, so I'm always preparing food.
Right.
There's always food in front of me. And now I'm in this place where I'm like, I really know that one of my biggest pitfalls is I just really, really, if I'm being totally honest, I really lack discipline with what goes in my mouth. Mm-hmm. So that's why I was asking. But maybe if I just have those containers or pre-portioned into Ziploc baggies or something after I've portioned them into my containers. I don't know. I'll figure out something. I'll make something work because I don't want to get into a bad habit either because I need to know, like you were saying, I need to figure out the right ways to eat. So,
yeah. I would say definitely at least for the first week, I would not do it.
Okay.
Just because you want to start trying to establish, the habit of
healthy habit
several times a day as opposed to eating like just breakfast and then being so busy and not eating again until dinner.
Right.
So, and just kind of learning how to make that happen by planning. So exactly what you said, taking, so what do you think, is there a certain time of day, do you think that's like worse for you, Emily?
Definitely. Oh man, I would say definitely like afternoon because that's when I'm getting ready for dinner and I'm getting lunches ready for the next day.
Yep.
And that's when I start getting really tired is like around 1 o'clock where I'm like exhausted. So I'm like, I need coffee and some chocolate and, like I'm snacking and preparing food and I'm snacking or, Violet eats all day long. So I'm like, I'll take a couple bites of her mac and cheese. Oh, I'll take a couple bites of her hot dogs or whatever she's having,
Yeah.
Especially because I feel like it gets worse when I'm tired, where I'm just like, or rushing, and I feel like the rush really starts happening right around like 1:30, where I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get to the school and pick up the kids in 1 hour, and I still haven't done X, Y, and Z, so I'm grabbing handfuls of crap and walking out the door with a cheese stick, so it's okay, where I justify all the other things because I grab a cheese stick or a banana,
So what I would do maybe tonight is I would figure out how many containers you get through the day, and I would just write down exactly what you're going to eat tomorrow, and like for example, so you already know at one point you're going to have your shake, and then you know what you're going to have for dinner. So I would prepare then at least two snacks for you to have at kind of those times where, I don't really want to make myself a snack. I just want to like grab it and eat it. So whatever that could be, it depends on how you filter out your containers, but you could do that. You could do that in a million different ways. I mean, you want it to be something filling. So like maybe celery and peanut butter isn't going to be the greatest idea because not giving you that much nutrients. So maybe instead you might want like, I don't know, a red container of cottage cheese with like, I don't know, some avocado or cucumber in it, like, mixing things together like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Or even just having like an apple and some peanut butter and then like a side of Greek yogurt or something. Something you can just grab out of the fridge and have.
Right. I wonder, what do you think about me having my shake at that really like that time where I'm used to eating the most, like the most crap, Yeah. Maybe because I could easily, mornings I really don't like to eat, but I always do because I know that I need to kickstart my metabolism. That's usually when I grab like a cheese stick or a a handful of whatever, or a granola bar or something,
What do you think,
maybe
what time do you think you'll be doing your workout?
Pat and I are going to be doing it together, and we're planning to do 5:30 workouts
Okay.
in the morning, 5:30 in the morning. So because the kids wake up on their own by about 6:30, 6:45.
Okay.
So
you'll
I was like,
definitely want something after your workout, even if it's not your shake. You'll need something, some sort of nutrients,
okay,
whatever you want to call it.
okay,
So I would obviously get up, I'd start drink a little bit of water, do your workout, drink water throughout your workout, continue drinking water after your workout, have some sort of, if you're not a big eater in the morning, I mean, even just having like a piece of toast with peanut butter and, something small or whatever, and then having a little bit larger snack or early lunch or breakfast later. And then I think saving your shake for the afternoon sounds like a good idea.
okay. I'm going to try that.
So yeah, give that a try.
Okay.
But just make sure you're eating all of your containers for the day. So plan
all the
so that you get them.
Mommy.
Perfect.
Does that make sense?
I'm super excited. Yes, it makes sense. And I'm like, I've gotten myself so like worked up and like excited.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm excited to kill it. I'm just ready. I'm there and
I'm excited that Pat's doing it with you. That's cool.
Yeah, I really because before when I started trying to get healthy again and exercise again, he wasn't doing it and I was, and then it flip-flopped when he was and I wasn't, and it really doesn't work because then he tries to help keep me accountable because I'm like, I'm so bad at just staying true to what I want and what I know. I mean, I just got my A1C blood test done and I'm 0.5 away from diabetic. So it goes between a 2 or 3 to 6 and I'm a 5.5. And I'm like, that freaks me out. And so anyways, I would get upset with him because he would be like, did you work out today? And I'm like, don't ask me. Don't tell me what to do.
Right.
They're like, don't worry about if I got my workout in. Don't worry about what I'm putting in my mouth. I'm like, whatever. I'll eat whatever I want to eat, even though I'd asked him to like help keep me accountable, but then I get so offended, So this time we were like, let's do it together.
Yeah.
So he is going to, and that'll help me get up in the morning. It'll help him get up in the morning. Oops. Yeah. So cool. I think anyways, that's the goal.
I'm excited. This is going to be awesome.
I think it is too. I'm pretty pumped. The call is
going to cut out in any second, just so you know. So I'm not hanging up on you, but it will cut out.
That's fine.
So, but yeah, I'm really anxious to see how this goes. So give that a try for tomorrow, and then we'll go from there nutritionally and see what happens.
Perfect. I'll be checking in.
All right.
Cool. Thanks, Ashley.
Yep.
Yeah. Bye.